All right, so for this practice, you're going to need 2 blocks. So have one where you can reach it, and we're gonna come to lie down on the back. So come to sit on your mat, feet flat on the floor, and then just roll back nicely here. And then we're going to set up in restorative or supported bridge pose. So you're gonna take your block and lift your hips, place it right under your sacrum. So the very end, that flat bone at the end of your spine. And then once you're here, just let your belly be soft, your hips heavy, arms down and away from your body with your palms facing up, and close your eyes. And notice the connection of your feet touching the ground, your hips heavy on the block, your shoulders soft yet heavy on the floor. And then allow your neck to be neutral and your belly to be soft. And you can start to tune into the sounds that you hear. Just letting your mind move from one sound right to the next, without holding on to any of the sounds. So very effortlessly jumping from one sound right to the next, allowing your mind to tune into your body and allow yourself to transition from whatever you were doing before this class, before this practice. So allowing yourself to transition into your practice. A few more breaths here on your own. And then from here, we're gonna lift the hips up. So press into your feet, lift your hips, and remove the block from underneath and just put it aside there for now. I'm gonna move into rolling bridges. So make sure your feet are parallel, ankles directly under your knees, and your arms down by your sides. This time your palms face down. Now, as you inhale, you're gonna lift your hips up, lift your arms up and by the ears. And then as you exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms, making sure that you're moving at the same rhythm of the breath. So inhale, lift your hips. And then exhale, lower. Again, like this, so breathe in, lift the hips, lift the arms, and then exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms. Few more rounds here, moving at your own pace, in your own rhythm, so breathe in, lift your hips. Exhale, press into the feet, lower the hips, lower the arms. 2 more like this, so inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. And again, breathe in, press up. And then exhale, lower your hips and lower the arms. We're gonna move into a reclined twist. You're gonna lift your hips up, shimmy the hips to the left side of the mat, and then both knees go to the right. So stack your thighs on top of each other, knee in line with the hip, and then reach your left arm over to the left. So allow your chest to open here. Maybe you gaze up to the ceiling, or you can keep your eyes closed. And let the belly be soft as you hold the twist. I'm going to stay here for a few long and deep breaths. And now come back to your center, and we go the other way. So hips go to the right first, and then knees go to the left. You can use your left hand and place it on top of the thigh and reach the right arm to the right. And let your ribs be soft here. Now make your way back to center. Pause. You're going to separate your feet wide and the knees together. So letting the thighs roll in here. And again, arms by your sides, a few breaths. So allowing your spine to come back to neutral. And then when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a nice big hug here. And exhale. One more like this. Inhale. And exhale. And start to rock yourself forward and back. And then come right up. I'm going to swing your legs around and behind you. I'm going to come to tabletop. Hands and knees. If you need padding under your knees, feel free to use padding. And then go ahead and set your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure the arms are straight without locking the arms. So make sure that you're not bending the elbows out to the side, but wrap the elbows in. As you breathe in, come up to cow pose. Lift your chest, arch your spine. As you exhale, round your spine, push the floor away. And again, like this, so breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, press around your spine, push the floor. Keep moving like this at your own pace, so breathe in, lift. Breathe out, press. A few more rounds, inhale. And exhale, front body contracts and your back body expands. Keep moving, front body expands as you breathe in. And contracts as you breathe out. A few more, inhale. And exhale. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. Now come back to neutral and press back into a child's pose. So you're going to separate the knees a little bit wider. Bring your big toes to touch. Set your hips back. Rest your head down on the mat. Maybe reach the arms back and let the shoulders round forward. A few more breaths here. And take your hands underneath the shoulders, lift the torso up, and then grab your two blocks. You're gonna place them top of the mat. You're gonna bring them as wide as the mat. Yeah, so right at the edges of the mat. And then place them right under your shoulders here on the lowest height. So your hands are nice and flat there. Now tuck your toes under. Begin to lift your knees off the floor. Hold it here for 3, 2, and now lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Keep your knees a little bit bent and the heels lifted. Relax the head and the neck. Now from here, right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, step the foot between the hands. Lower the back knee here. Hands on your blocks. Draw the chest forward. So your hands, your blocks are in line with your right foot there. Draw the ribs in and then bring the hips forward. So you notice that stretch on the left hip flexor and the left thigh. I'm going to hold it for 2 more breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. And again, inhale. And exhale. I'm going to bring the right knee to meet the left knee. Plant your hands nice and flat there. And then same thing, tuck your toes. Lift your knees here. Hold it. Press the ground away. You got it. And then downward facing dog. Press right back. Draw the ribs in. And now left leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, step the foot between the blocks. Yeah. And then lower the right knee to the floor. Tent the fingers so you get taller through the arms. Draw the chest forward here and the shoulders back. Holding it here, a few breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. You got it. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now plant your hands. Left knee to meet the right knee. You know where we're going here. So plant your hands nice and flat. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Hold it here. Push the ground. Push the ground. Downward facing dog. Press back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I'm going to do a couple more rounds just like this. So right leg up and back. As you exhale, step forward between the blocks. Lower the left knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Breathe in. Stay, breathe out. Right knee to meet the left knee. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left leg up and back. And step forward. Lower the right knee. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, stay. Inhale, hands and knees, plant your hands. Downward facing dog as you exhale. 1 more round here, right leg up. Step forward, lower the left knee. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, stay. Breathe in, right knee to meet the left knee, plant the hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up. Exhale, step it forward, lower the right knee. Breathe in, lift the chest. And breathe out, stay. Hands and knees, plant the hands. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more breath, breathe in. And breathe out. Now, bring your feet about as wide as the mat, so wider than hip distance. You're gonna turn the heels in and the toes out. And then walk your blocks back. And now sink your hips, coming into a squat. You can use one of your blocks and sit on one of your blocks there. Take your hands together at your heart. Make sure you have the other block on your right side and keep it handy right there. Take your hands at your heart and breathe here. Crown of the head reaches forward. Make sure you're not rounding here. Toes turn out and heels turn in. Now you're gonna take your right hand, place it on that block you have on the right side so that it's right in front of your right foot, and then take your left arm up into a twist. Two more breaths. Now take your hands back together, hands together at your heart here. You're gonna press down into your feet. We're gonna come up to stand. So into your feet, nice and heavy, rooted on the ground, and then come all the way up. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands together to your heart. Bring your feet together to touch. Yeah. And from here, take your arms all the way up and over, breathe in. As you exhale, soften the knees and dive forward. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Bend your knees, plant your hands. You can leave your blocks right there and then walk your hands forward into a plank pose. Crawl your way forward. Hold it right here. Breathe in. Breathe out, legs nice and strong. Keep your gaze a little bit forward of the fingers so that the neck stays neutral. You can always tap the knees down, knees up or down. One more breath, you got it. Now as you exhale, lower the knees and come all the way down to the floor. Point your toes behind you, activate the legs. And then inhale, arms reach back. Palms face down, breathe in, lift everything off the ground. Lift the legs, lift the chest. You got it, one more, breathe in. And then exhale, make a pillow with your hands, elbows out to the side, and let your head rest. Now hands underneath your shoulders. Now press back. Downward facing dog. Plant your hands. You got it. Breathe in. And breathe out. And now bring your feet about as wide as the mat. Turn the heels in, toes out, and then walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then sink into your squat. You can use a block or no block, your choice. And you make sure you have a block towards the left. Yeah. Take your hands together at your heart there. Breathe in, crown of the head reaching up. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Now take that block you have on the left. Now place it on the left side so the upper arm presses into the inner thigh. And then inhale, reach the right arm up. Open the chest. One more breath. Now take your hands together at your heart center. Press down into your feet and then come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Bring your feet together to touch. Breathe in, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bend your knees, plant your hands, crawl forward into your plank pose. Legs nice and strong here. Remember, you have options. You can either tap the knees or keep them up. Two more breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale, tap the knees, and come all the way down to the floor. From here, reach the arms back by your sides. Zip your legs together behind you. Now inhale, everything lifts. Chest, arms, legs, keep your gaze down so neck stays neutral. And then go ahead and release. Pillow with your hands and let your body rest in neutral. Now from here, hands under your shoulders, press back to hands and knees. Okay. I'm gonna sit up for thread the needle here. So hands underneath your shoulders, and then as you breathe in, take the right arm up towards the ear, breathe in. And then as you exhale, thread the needle, so bring the right arm underneath. You're gonna lower the right cheek to the mat. And then you're gonna reach your left arm forward here. Draw the belly in and breathe. Two more breaths. Now you're gonna take your left hand underneath the shoulder. You're gonna press up, slide the right arm out and back up. And come back to your hands and knees. Child's pose, press back. Hips back, head down, arms forward. Come back to hands and knees. Then thread the needle on the left side. So left arm reaches up, breathe in. Thread the needle, left arm underneath, left cheek to the mat, and then right arm will go forward. Breathe here. And then right hand under the shoulder, press yourself up, slide the left arm out and up again, and then lower the hand down. Beautiful. Press back, child's pose, just as a transition. Then lift your torso up. I'm gonna come up to sit, so bring your legs around and in front of you. I'm gonna sit nice and wide into a straddle. Have your two blocks close by where you can reach them. Yeah. I'm gonna sit nice and heavy here on the floor. Now bend your right knee. So sort of as if you were coming into tree pose, bend the right knee and take the sole of the foot on the inner left thigh. Yeah. Flex the left leg here. Yeah. You're gonna take your left hand on the inside of your left leg, reach the right arm up, reach up, get long through the right side of the waist. I'm gonna side bend over to the left. So it doesn't need to be way too far here. Make sure that your chest stays lifted. See that the hips stay rooted on the ground, especially your right hip, because as you side bend to the left, your right hip is going to want to lift off the ground. See if you can keep it there. And then come back to center. And we just switch sides, so both legs straight to begin. Bend your left knee, bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Sit nice and tall here. Yeah. And then take the right hand to the inside of the right leg, reach the left arm up. Breathe and reach up, get long through the waist, and then side bend over to the right. See that you flex the right foot. Two more long and deep breaths. Keep the chest nice and open. Come back to center. Now we're gonna go forward, so both legs straight and hips nice and heavy on the floor. Rooting the hips down. Flex your feet, and then you're gonna grab your two blocks. Now make yourself a little table here. So maybe 2 blocks here, maybe just 1 block. So you go at your own, adjust the blocks to whatever height you need, yeah? Making sure that you're not forcing the forward fold. So hands right in front of you, tent the fingers, get long through your spine here, draw the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath in. Now you can stay right here, yeah? If you wanna go forward, maybe just a little bit, you can start to walk your hands, trying to keep most of that length along the spine. And then you can gaze down at the ground. If you want to rest your head on the blocks, you can lower your head down. It's just going to make it more restorative. You can let the shoulders run forward and the arms relax. I'm going to hold it here for about a couple of minutes. Few more breaths. And then you're going to start to lift the torso back up. Pause. And take your hands right under your knees and start to bend your legs. Move your blocks out of the way. I'm going to move forward on the mat and come to lie down. And once you're here, separate your feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees come together. Arms by your side. So just like we did at the beginning. And then keeping your feet wide and your knees together so everything stays the same. You're gonna windshield wipe your knees to the right. Yeah. So both knees just drop to the right side. Your legs are gonna fall into a zigzag shape. You can reach your left arm to the left. And come back to center, and then we'll go the other way. So knees fall to the left, right arm to the right. Come back to center. And bring your knees into your chest. And then you're gonna reach for the outer edges of your feet. But come into happy baby pose. So grab onto the outer edges of your feet. And then Knees towards the outer armpits. You're gonna rock yourself forward from side to side. And then let your feet flat on the ground. I'm gonna set up into Shavasana, so either set up for your Yoga Nidra, or you can just set up for your regular Shavasana with your legs straight, arms by your sides. And I will leave you here so you can finish your practice however you wish, either Shavasana or your long Shavasana with your Yoga Nidra. Namaste.